Buenos dias and welcome to Tiempo. I'm Ana Carbonell.
And I'm Miguel Perez.
And on today's show, we have Luis Avalos, the star of ABC's Condo, who's going to be telling us a little bit of how it feels to be an Hispanic in the entertainment area.
From the television industry, we're going to move right into the film industry. We have two Hispanic independent filmmakers who are here to discuss their new movie, Crossover Dreams, which is all about a Latin musician who tries to make it into the mainstream of American music. And did you see El Super?
No, I missed it, but I heard.
Well, these people are the same people who produced El Super, which is a great movie about a Cuban exile who comes to New York and becomes a building superintendent. And it's a fantastic movie. It gives you a slice of what it is to be a Cuban exile in New York, longing for the weather in Havana and the old Havana. But anyway, it's a fantastic movie. And these people now have Ruben Blades as the lead singer in their new movie. And so we're going to be talking about Crossover Dreams. And we'll also be having brunch with the people at home today because we're going to be reviewing or discussing a few of the best Hispanic restaurants in the city.
Right, where to go and get some good Latin cuisine.
And we get food here on the show today, so we're looking forward to that.
Yes, thank you, David and Daddy, our producers, for getting us the food.
We'll be right back.
And you thought that moving wasn't a funny business? When I moved, to make sure my mail would be at my new door, I notified everyone a month before. The post office gave me a free change of address kit to make notifying even easier. And now, another serious note. Use your new zip code.
Your mail, Mr. Borga.
Already? Don't make your mail come looking for you. Notify everyone 1 month before you move, please.
For Yankee baseball, it's WABC Talk Radio 77. I'm an easygoing guy who likes double plays, grand slams, hot dogs, and listening to every pitch, hit, and win on WABC Talk Radio 77. And now that Billy's back...
It's great to be back in New York, George.
I fully expect to be playing baseball in October.
Stay tuned to WABC Talk Radio 77.
Billy's back.
Buenas, I'm Jose Torres, and I want to talk to kids who have asthma. The American Lung Association has a new program for kids with asthma called Super Stuff. Super Stuff helps you to handle your asthma and shows how your parents and doctors can help you help yourself. For information, contact your American Lung Association. Es una cuestión de vida y salud. It's a matter of life and breath.
And you thought that moving wasn't a funny business? When I moved, to make sure my mail would be at my new door, I notified everyone a month before. The post office gave me a free change of address kit to make notifying even easier. And now, another serious note. Use your new zip code.
Your mail, Mr. Borga.
Already? Don't make your mail come looking for you. Notify everyone 1 month before you move, please.
Recently, I had the opportunity to interview Luis Avalos, who plays Jesse Rodriguez on the ABC comedy series Condo. Luis is a familiar face to most of us, having played on Barney Miller, Hill Street Blues, and of course, The Electric Company. Luis was born in Cuba, and he came here with his family at the age of 1. Luis is a real local boy makes good story, and he came up through the city school system, and he graduated at NYU. When I met Luis, we talked about his role as an Hispanic in the media and also his present work on Condo.
I played Jesse Rodriguez. He's a head of a family. The man started in as a gardener, and he has his own landscaping business. So that's very important. He has worked himself up to where he has his own business. He's bought a condominium, and together with his wife, his daughter, and his wife's husband, his wife's father, have moved into this condo. And he's a very moral man and has terrific principles. And the guy stands on his feet and defends what he thinks is right. Now that's a terrific situation for un Latino in the media, because mostly up to now, the Latin family has been just about invisible, you know, on TV.
You know, Maria, when I was just a poor gardener, we were living in that tiny house on DeSoto Street, Did you ever think we'd live in a place like this?
Of course, you hated that house. All I ever heard was, someday I'll have my own landscaping business and we'll live in a mansion.
I promised you a mansion.
This is close enough.
Made you a happy woman, haven't I?
Yes.
Daddy, the moving men told me they're taking a coffee break.
Of course. They're probably exhausted from their lunch break. Did you walk over and see your new high school?
I can see it from my window.
Yeah, it's right down the block. And next fall, the State University, it's only a 10-minute drive. You can live here all through college and law school.
And when she's a lawyer, she can practice in her room. Jesse, let's go.
Now here you have a situation where it's a Latin family and extolling the virtues of this family and their beliefs, their culture. It's an incredible situation.
While you were on the electric company, you and Rita Moreno decided not to highlight the accent. Why was that, Louis?
Most people I know who are Latin Hispanics raised in this country don't have one. Why does that mean then that every Latin that's on the screen or TV should have an accent? That's nonsense.
Do you find yourself being stereotyped into one character, Louis?
You know, I've been very fortunate because I've been able to do comedy and drama. You know, there's been the comedy stuff like Hot Stuff, Stir Crazy,
And that
Barney
was
Biller.
funny. I've got to mention that
Thank
in
you.
the middle.
My famous plier sequence. And then there's been the dramatic things, you know, Kojak and The Incredible Hulk. Maybe not so dramatic. Other, you know, dramatic kind of parts. Hill Street Blues. So that fame, there's been both, which is very nice.
What other roles would you like to play?
It's going to sound simplistic, but basically good ones. And now by good ones, I mean that, and again, going back to the accent situation, most of the times when a role is written, simply because he has an accent, that means that's the character. So instead of saying, give me a cup of coffee, you say, can I have the coffee, please? Then they think that's a character because he has an accent, which of course it isn't. So they become two-dimensional people. And there are small parts, regardless of what anybody says. There are small parts. And an actor wants to be wonderful. You want to be terrific. You want to go into uncharted areas. You want to say, my God, how sensitive and bright and what a meaningful job this guy has just done, or woman. And so you want jobs that these people are three-dimensional, that they have ideas, that they have interesting quirks and conflicts, that one moment they can be very nice and then turn around and be nasty or whatever, so that there's little differences, and those little transitions, they're called in acting, are what makes a character really worth doing.
Do you think that we'll see a lot of shows like Condo in the future?
Well, you know, the greatest unbroken rule in Hollywood is if you have one success, you're bound to see 50,000 copies of it in the next 3 weeks. If a horror movie scares somebody, need I tell you how many horror movies we've seen? Or science fiction, or what have you. The same thing for this. I think right as of now, there are 5 Latin comedy pilots in the works in Hollywood with different studios, you know. And I say terrific. You know, I think great, because there's a lot of Latin talent out there, and there's a lot of different kinds of families. There are a lot of ideas to explore, and the more, the better. You know, if it's done with dignity and any semblance, I think, of the good taste that the people have shown our producers with Thomas, God, I wish them all the best of luck in the world, really.
As an Hispanic, Louis, how do you feel about your role on Condo?
I am so proud of the Mexicans' attitude towards, quite specifically towards me, because here I am. I was born in Cuba, raised in New York. My aunt and uncle married Puerto Ricans, so all my cousins are half Cuban, half Puerto Rican. The only thing I don't have in my family are Mexicans. And here I am playing the father of a Mexican-American family. Their backing, their sense of saying, listen, you're doing us proud as long as you play this part with dignity and give us a sense of feeling good about what you're doing. We're more than happy to have you, I think is a wonderful example for Cubans, for Puerto Ricans, for Dominicans, for us to all get together, you know, because I think separately we have nothing to gain, quite frankly. you know, because we are not in Cuba, we are not in Puerto Rico, and we're not in Mexico. We're here, you know. And the sooner there's that concept of uniting, in a sense of finding the things that bind us together, the sooner we're going to be a force that is going to be viable and effective in American society.
Well, Luis, thanks so very much for being with us. Much success to you and Condo. We'll be right back. Miguel?
Next, Latin filmmakers.
Buenas. I'm Jose Torres, and I want to talk to kids who have asthma. The American Lung Association has a new program for kids with asthma called Super Stuff. Super Stuff helps you to handle your asthma and shows how your parents and doctors can help you help yourself. For information, contact your American Lung Association. Es una cuestión de vida y salud. It's a matter of life and breath.
To have a good marriage means work.
Starting Monday on Eyewitness News at 6, Chi-Chi Williams tells how you can get the most out of your marriage.
There's no question that many skills are needed to keep a good marriage healthy.
Then at 11, Doug Johnson reports on the power of prediction.
Most people are more open and receptive to the idea that astrology can and does work.
It's just fun to read them.
Watch You Can Get the Most Out of Your Marriage at 6.
And You and Your Horoscope at 11, Monday on Eyewitness News.
Every year, cancer of the colon and rectum takes 54,000 people from the families they love.
They're here! Welcome home, Dad!
But thousands who detected it early are surviving. The reason is new early detection methods like the colon rectum test, a simple exam you can do yourself.
It's good to be home.
Oh, Dad.
The colon rectum test. Ask your doctor or call your American Cancer Society.
This is the connection you've been waiting for. Turn on WPLJ for the best rock, the best jocks, the best music mix, with more of your favorites. WPLJ has it all. More of what you want from your radio station. WPLJ, the home of rock and roll.
Films are something most of us take for granted, whether it be on television or at the movies. But for minority filmmakers, it's something much more difficult. With me today are two Cuban-born filmmakers who dream of making or crossing over to the American mainstream of the American film market. And they are Leon Ichazo and Manuel Arce. And welcome to Tiempo. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Your experience with this new movie, Crossover Dreams, tells me that there's a similarity there between what is happening to the actor, the main guy in the movie, who is a salsa singer, from what I understand, to what is happening to you in the film media, as far as crossing over to the American mainstream. Tell me about that. Has it been difficult as filmmakers?
Well, it's difficult as filmmakers, as anything you try to cross from, whether it's a restaurant, a Latin restaurant, or a film, doesn't matter. It's more difficult for Ruben Blades, the leading actor, since the crossover for him is not only part of the character, Rudy Veloz, that he plays in the movie, but in real life he would also like to cross over himself with his music, and it is his music, the one that is portrayed in the film in English for the first time. These are Ruben Blades songs in English for the first time ever. But
there is a parallel. There is definitely a parallel between our career after we made El Super, which was a huge critical success. We expected the doors of every studio in Hollywood to open to us.
That didn't happen?
Not quite, no.
They opened the back door and say, yeah, what do you want? Deliveries over there. Nothing happened. So we're trying to do the crossover ourselves. It is a unison crossover.
Yeah. How has Ruben himself been influential in this movie? I know that he scored part of the music for the film. Has he been being as though he's so influential in the music and has been an actor himself in other movies, has he worked along with you in developing this film?
Very much so.
Yeah, very much so. From the beginning of the story, we met Ruben a few years ago, and for years we've been talking about doing a film about a Latin singer in New York.
Tell me, what is the movie about, really? What is his name in the movie?
Rudy Veloz, and he's a New Yorican salsa singer who tries to make it in the American mainstream, who tries to cross over, which is the natural wish, a dream for any of those singers who play the Cuchifrito circuit endlessly.
Cuchifrito.
Yeah.
This is something that is autobiographical for both yourselves and for Ruben, because he's also in this movie. I understand he has some songs in English. So he's actually making the crossover in the movie to the himself in real life.
Hopefully he will be more successful than the character in the film.
Yes.
Well, we have a clip of the movie, so let's take a look at that and then we'll talk some more about it. Okay. Let's turn to the film.
Todos vuelven a la tierra en que nacieron, al embrujo incomparable de su son. Todos vuelven al rincón en que vivieron, donde acaso floreció más de un amor. Bajo el árbol solitario del pasado, cuántas veces nos ponemos a soñar. Todos vuelven por la ruta del recuerdo, pero el tiempo del amor no vuelve más.
What is happening there?
He's singing a song on a rooftop for a dead friend. It is a moment that the character is 6 in the morning, he's drunk, his friend has died, he comes from a funeral, and he goes up to a rooftop to sing a guaguancó to his dead friend, the leader of the band he's played with, who dies in the middle of the story and leaves him without a band or a group to play with. That's when he decides that he's tired of this circuit and wants to play in the real court, you know, which is what we all want. I don't think we want to be reduced to a market, to a ghetto, to a thing. That's really what we're trying to do, film-wise, music-wise, in any which way we can. With El Super, we wish we could have done it. With this one, we will, maybe.
At what stage is the movie at right now? When are you planning to release it?
Well, we're editing the film right now. Hopefully, editing is a long process. People don't realize. I think they film and from the camera to their screens, but it is a long process.
For the summer. Yeah.
For the summer, for the end of the summer, hopefully, and if we can, we would hope to be accepted at the New York Film Festival and open there to.
Was El Super in the New York Film Festival?
No, because it came out, El Super was at the Museum of Modern Art's New Director Series. And it was at Venice, the Venice Film Festival, at
all kinds of festivals.
All kinds of festivals.
All kinds
Deauville
of awards.
Film Festival in France, and all over the world. It played all over the world. And
why are you guys independent? Is there a problem being taken seriously by the movie studios?
It's a problem getting money. It's a problem getting money for stories that are Latin. You haven't seen too many Latin films, or.
Well, if you're trying to cross over into the mainstream of the American film industry, why do a Latin character? Why not do
Because you cannot disguise. That's the thing. You cannot put on a wig and act like an American, you know, because then it's even worse. Then you're like a fraud. They see you and say, oh, not only is it not going to cross over, we won't let him in, period. So you have to do with your, you know, what you have. These are our tools. So what we do is try to distill that, translate that, and make it more accessible. But this is what we have to work with. We cannot just, you know, make a movie about baseball or cherry pie, because it's not us. This is what we can work with, and then try to put it together in a cohesive way for everybody.
You produced and directed El Super, and you have written the screenplay for this new movie yourselves.
Yes.
And with Ruben.
And Ruben also.
Yeah, we wrote the story and wrote, you know, the first treatments, but his involvement was too big, you know, not to be part of the contribution.
Tell me more about the movie. What is happening there that will make, for example, not just the Hispanic, but other cultural groups interested in the movie? Does it cross into the mainstream, the movie itself?
It's the story of the American dream, and that is something that is.
It's very international. This could be any singer. It happens to be a salsa singer, but it could be a Greek, could be an Italian, could be French. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to get out from where they come and make it big.
Is it a musical? Is it?
No, it has a lot of music, but it is a drama. It is the big Puerto Rican epic. It is the first time that we're doing a film about a Puerto Rican, a New Yorker. It's never been done. West Side Story touched on it, but didn't barely scratch the surface. This is it.
And what are your future plans? I mean, where does it go from? Where does the company go from there?
Future plans to pay the rent.
We should say the name of your company is Mambrú.
Max Mambrú.
What does Mambrú stand for? Where do you get that name?
It's from a lullaby.
Mambrú se fue a la guerra.
I see. So there's no Max Mambrú.
When the creditors come and they ask for Max, we know who's calling. We don't answer the phone. So there's no Max Mambrú.
I see. Okay. What is happening in for Hispanics in the film world?
A lot. Right now we have in the new director series coming up at the Museum of Modern Art, we have Jacobo Morales, who's a Puerto Rican filmmaker. His film, God Creates Them. That's right. Invited. And we have another film from Spain called Midnight, I don't know, Gala Medianoche.
God Creates Them, is that in English also?
It is in Spanish. It was in Spanish.
Must be subtitled.
But is your company the only Hispanic company producing films in English?
Feature films, I believe so. There might be others, but I'm not aware of. Maybe in the coast there's some people doing it. Here in New York, there's a lot of production companies that do commercials, but I don't think any of them are doing any feature length.
With El Super, I know that you were involved in rewriting the screenplay.
Right, yes. Ivan Acosta wrote the original play, El Super, that we went to see when it was still an off-Broadway play.
Opening night.
We rewrote the screenplay.
Here in New York, right?
Yeah.
This is where it started.
Yeah. And we rewrote that, adapted it to the screen.
How was it after El Super? You already mentioned that the reception wasn't...
Well, no, it wasn't so bad. We got a contract from a big studio to write a story, and we wrote a story for 18 months. We were under a contract with a big studio, but nothing came out of that but a lot of frustration and desire and maybe the thrust to go ahead and do this without anybody. Once again, like El Super, something we never thought we were going to go into again, panhandling.
How much money do you have to make such a movie?
Well, the budget of the film is $500,000. We don't have all the money, and we owe a lot of money. So if there's anybody out there that wants to help
Miguel
us.
and send contributions.
Good luck, and we're all looking forward to seeing your movie. I hope you really do cross over, because I think you guys deserve it. And we'll be right back with Anna.
Next, Latin dining in New York.
Agent Orange was used in Vietnam to clear brush. It contained the chemical dioxin. Herbicides containing dioxin were also used in this country to clear roadsides. But today, people are worried that dioxin may cause serious health problems, and they want answers. But there are no simple solutions. If you think you were exposed to herbicides containing dioxin, learn more. Call the New York State Dioxin Commission for a free information kit. Get the facts.
Congratulations. I hear you're having a baby.
Yes, I am.
I came to warn you about these. Smoking is hazardous to your baby's health.
What do you mean?
Before you became pregnant, smoking was bad for you. Now it can hurt your baby, too.
But I don't smoke that much.
Even a little is too much. If you want to have a healthy baby, don't smoke. Remember, you got to take care of your baby right from the start.
For Yankee baseball, it's WABC Talk Radio 77.
Catch Yankee Fever with me, Art Russ Jr. on Sports Talk right here on WABC Talk Radio 77. For every hit and pitch, nobody knows more about Yankee baseball than I do.
Hey, Art, that's with one exception. Let's make that 2 exceptions.
All right, you guys. You got me, you got me.
WABC Talk Radio 77. Yankee baseball.
I have enough trouble dealing with reality. Why should I believe in the stars?
Sometimes they're uncanny.
Starting Monday on Eyewitness News at 11, Doug Johnson reports on the power of prediction.
It's just fun to read them.
The horoscope column is typical of the exploding, money-making potential of astrology today.
The big business of astrology.
Align yourself with highly successful people.
Most people are more open and receptive to the idea that astrology can and does work.
Watch you and your horoscope Monday on Eyewitness News at 11, right after Monday Night Baseball.
And now, naturally, we're going to tell you some nice places to eat.
You can go ahead and read the cards while I eat. I'm starving, so I'm ready.
How come he got that, you know? Here goes Victor's Cafe, one of the finest Cuban restaurants in the city. Try it, you'll like it. And Victor's has 2 places, one at 240 Columbus Avenue.
And the other one on 52nd Street and Broadway. And they were nice to send us this food here, Cuban food. And we should tell the people what it is that we're going to eat for brunch this morning. We have arroz moro. We have...
which is white rice with black beans.
Cooked together. And we have shredded beef, better known as ropa vieja. And plátanos maduros, fried plantains, the ripe kind.
Yes, and I love that. Okay, Fonda La Paloma, which is at 256 East 49th Street, and that's a Mexican restaurant that will satisfy any nostalgic feelings.
I'll start eating.
Okay.
Fonda La Paloma, by the way, is a very, very elegant Mexican restaurant. They have mariachis singing to you as you eat, so it's a wonderful place.
I wish I could eat, Miguel. Okay, this is Marbella, and that's at 220-33 Northern Boulevard in Bayside. And that's specializing in food from Galicia, with chefs imported right from there.
The very far end of Queen. You're almost in Long Island, but it's fantastic food, very good food.
And the recommended dish there, by the way, is Zarzuela de Marisco Marbella, which is a lobster and seafood casserole in lobster sauce. Then Argentina La Milonga. That's at 742 9th Avenue. Large and comfortable with some of the finest Argentinian cuisine in town.
And entertainment. On weekends, they have all kinds of Argentinian tango singers and the like performing there. It's a good place to go.
El Parador. Any lover of Mexican food will certainly enjoy this elegant restaurant, and that's at 325 East 34th Street.
I have never been there, but I hear it's a very, very nice restaurant
Well,
also.
that's open Monday through Saturday from 5 to 11 p.m.
We have to check that one out ourselves.
And then La Victoria China at 2532 Broadway. That's 95th Street. And the recommended dish there is kingfish.
I wouldn't recommend that. I eat Cuban food there. It's a great little diner where you can go, and it's one of the cheapest restaurants in the city, and you can have some of the best Cuban food in town. They're 3 times or 2-time exiles. They moved from China to Cuba or the Dominican Republic, and now they've come here as Cuban exiles, and they know the best of the two cuisines. You can have combination plates with fried rice and a Cuban steak and fried plantains. It's a great little place, and it's very cheap. I love it.
And when I was in Washington Heights area, there was La Gran China I used to eat at that also offered you all the dishes. Well, I've gone through the carts, so now I can eat, Miguel.
No. We'll both eat. I think we wish you a good day, and we hope that you are going to enjoy as good a lunch as we're having here, or brunch. And we'll be back next week with more Tiempo, and we hope you join us then.
Yes, and please have your dish all ready. Bye-bye.
Tomorrow on Entertainment Tonight, actor Sidney Poitier reveals why he hasn't appeared in a feature film for 6 years. And Morgan Fairchild and Chevy Chase do exercise routines. All on Entertainment Tonight, tomorrow night at 7:30.